There's breaks, gaps between one kind of cultural understanding of women sliding into another. There has never been a loss of language. All of you will be speaking perhaps in different languages, maybe English, Hindi, maybe you refer to some other languages also. That when we are looking at the whole expanse of literature about women from ancient times to now, this the living quality of the discussion, the ongoing dialogues with society and culture that have marked the growth of women's presence in literature is entirely significant. As compared to many Western communities, I think we're very lucky because Greek and Latin literature may have had those interruptions and disruptions between ancient and modern. But in India, it is possible to trace, as I'm sure all of you will do, the continuities. And if there have been disjunctions, they've been very creative disjunctions. It's been a discussion, dialogue, alternative positions, or I would say the multilingual, multicultural base of what is understood as women's empowerment. That is my second point, that the enormous richness of multicultural India, multilingual India, is perhaps nowhere else available in the world. And I'm delighted to have a panel of speakers who will be looking at women's empowerment, their Nari Chetanam, from different angles and at different times. So what we are getting in this session is a kind of matrix. We're looking at the chronology of ancient, medieval and modern, but we are also looking at the cross sections that happen between one and another. So I look forward very much to the papers and may have some observations to make between your presentations and afterwards. So I would suggest that each speaker takes about 20 minutes to begin with, and then we can always come around because when I listen to each of you speak, I have questions in my mind, and we have a wonderful audience which will also have questions in their mind. So it's good to allow time for that dialogue, that discussion to develop based on the papers that you are presenting. So our first paper is on modern, or let's just say women's writing in Indian languages in the modern period. So we're going from now to the past.
Garima Srivastava.
Malashri, and it is me out, and I could get in conversation over phone, and I'm fortunate enough that this is the first time I'm meeting her in person. Thank you, Professor Malashri, and my.
So this was the Krishna Auditorium, where River Krishna is the third longest river after rivers Ganga and Godavari. The Krishna River originates in the Western Ghat. Look at that. It's a major source of irrigation in the Indian states of Maharashtra. So there, I just came out. They were discussing women writing, Indian women writing from now, that is from modern times, and tracing it from modern times back to the olden times. Pretty interesting. But it wasn't really clear. The acoustics wasn't too good. So walking out from here. Some writers, some VIPs.
Cameras capturing group photos and
Poetry
selfies.
Unbound.
Lovers
Multilingual
pose for
poets
moments to be recorded. Kids run around. A magician chooses it as a suitable backdrop for his show. Tourists cheer. They love war stories, as they love sprinkling a bit of salt on their fresh fruit juices. On the city work lies the hollow head without memories. You can make out He was a brave man, remnants of the glorious tradition. There is nothing more to discuss except how is Arunangshu, or how about the orange market? When nothing comes out, I used to speak about mountains. How difficult are the roads these days? When one can reach somewhere, when one can reach his home. We do not talk about these things. For these, there are councils. We do not have much to discuss. Not much indeed, except if there is any cloud in afternoon sky, or is there any possibility of a huge storm? Thank you.
It's what poetry means to me.